Hello everyone, am I audible? Are you joining any student? So today we'll discuss the IIT JAM 2024 full question paper solution with detailed answer, expert analysis. So am I audible? Am I board have seen today? So we just wait 5 minutes and after we just start our problem discussion session IIT JAM 2024 full question paper conducted by IIT Madras in 6 p.m. So we just stay 5 minutes and after that here we have discussed the question paper like the we have discussed here in the IIT JAM 2024. This is conducted by the IIT Madras. So in your JAM the three type of section. So first of all the section A and section B and the section C. The total number of questions are 60. So in section A there are MCQ, section B MSQ and the section C NAT, numerical answer type. In section A there are 30 questions, from which 10 questions carry +1 and another 20 questions carry +2, and in MSQ there are 10 questions carry +2 marks, and in that section there are total 20 questions, from which 10 questions carrying +1 and another the 10 questions carrying +2. So the total number of questions are coming in the JAM exam 60 questions, full weightage 100 marks. And the detailed analysis is that there are total 7 topics in your IIT JAM. The 7 topics, in which first topic is the mathematical methods. The total number of questions coming in this section 7 to 8. Next, mechanics and general properties of matter, GPM. The total number of questions are coming from this section 8 to 9. And the wave, optics and the oscillation, the number of questions also 8 to 9. And the electricity and magnetism, the total number of questions coming average in per every section is 9 questions. Next, the KTG, kinetic theory of gas and the thermodynamics, the number of questions are come 8. Next, the modern physics, the total number of average number of questions are coming from this section, that the 9. And the last one, the solid state physics, electronics and devices, the number of questions coming 9 to 10. So average that this is our analysis. So we just now discuss the problem session. Just a minute, we have already 3 minutes to start the live session at 6 p.m. So these are the detailed analysis of IIT JAM exam. This is the pattern and the analysis. So we now discuss the JAM question paper 2024 conducted by IIT Madras. So just a minute. So we just start in just 6 p.m. So nice, fine. We just start here. So first question. So first question is that the section A, question number 1 to 10 carry 1 mark. The total number of Na and Cl ion per unit cell of the NaCl crystal is what? Option is 2, 4, 8 and 16. So first of all, I just suggest you to do on your own. First you try and after we just solve. So here, so I just solve here that in NaCl crystal, the structure is what? FCC with Na plus and the Cl minus ion alternately. So in one unit cell, the structure is FCC. Na ion contribute 4 ion from 8 corner atom contributing what? 1 by 8 and 6 face contributing 1 by 2. So 4 ion, that is I just write 4 ion. So 8 corner contributing 1 by 8 and the 6 face atom contribute 1 by 2. This is for Na plus, and for the Cl minus 4 ions is the same arrangement. 4 ions for the same arrangement Cl minus. So total the Na plus plus Cl minus would be what? 4 plus 4, 8. So correct answer would be the C. 8 would be a correct answer. Next. Question number 2. The sum of 3 binary numbers 1011.0, 1101, 0.01 and 10101.011 is decimal system is what? So we first convert the binary into decimal. So first of all, that 10110.10, this is in binary 2. I just convert here that 1 into 2 to the power 4 plus 0 into 2 cube plus 1 into 2 square plus 1 into 2 to the power 1 plus 0 into 2 to the power 0 into means the decimal point, and after that this will be minus 1 into 2 to the power minus 2 plus 0 into 2 to the power minus 2. So you just calculate and write me in the comment box the answer. I just stay 1 minute. You just calculate this one. So it would become the 16 plus 0 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0 half plus 0. This would become what? 22.5. Next, you just calculate for 1101 0.01 binary to decimal. You just convert this one and the next one, the 101.11 is a binary. You just also convert into decimal quickly, and after sum all these three. So here in the second it would become the 26.25. You match the answer, and the next one would be 21.75. So you just sum the three. This would be 70.50. 70.50. So C would be your correct answer. Go ahead and next. You just do quickly, just 1 or 2 minutes per question. Which one of the following matrices is Hermitian as well as unitary? Both the unitary and the Hermitian. Just do in yourself. Both the unitary and the Hermitian. I think some of one are the Polish spin matrices. So first of one, that the M 0 minus I 0, I means the imaginary number. So Hermitian means what? Hermitian means, let M be the matrix. M dagger should be M, and this is the Hermitian, and the M dagger should be M inverse. This is the two condition of the Hermitian and the unitary. So it would become the dagger. It would what? So 0 minus I 0. So this is the M. So M dagger should be what? M dagger means 0 minus I and the I 0 into 0 minus I 0. You just calculate. So 0 minus I square, here 0 minus I square plus 0. This would be what? 1 0 0 1. So it would become the I. identity matrix. So this implies that the m dagger is equal to m inverse. So this is the unitary. For m dagger is minus m, this be the skew Hermitian. So here in the option A would be our correct answer. Option A, we just check first option and get the answer. Option A would be the correct. Next, question number 4, very important questions. The divergence of a three-dimensional vector r cap divided by r cube, where r cube is the unit radial vector, is what? The divergence of this quantity r cube by r cap divided by r cube. You just do in your home. So here you just apply the divergence formula of this operator, the r cube divided by r cap divided by r cube. So here that the divergence of r cap by r cube means what? 1 by r square del r of r square into 1 by r cube. This would be what? 1 by r square. Just calculate in your own. Del r of 1 by r. This would be what? 1 by r square del r of 1 by r. 1 by r differentiation, that minus 1 by r square. So this would be minus 1 by r to the power 4. Minus 1 by r to the power 4. Option A would be correct. Next, the magnitude of spin magnetic moment of electron, proton and neutron are mu e, mu p and mu n respectively. Then what should be the correct relation? Question number 5. So here that the spin magnetic moment of a particle is given by the expression the mu is equal to z q by 2m into s. This is the relation where g be the gyrometric ratio and q be the charge of the particle, m be the mass of the particle and s be the spin angular momentum. The spin angular momentum. So here the spin magnetic moment of particle are inversely proportional to their masses. Thus the electron have the small masses, resulting the largest magnetic moment. The electron me, the small masses, so magnetic moment of the E the highest. Okay. The proton has a mass larger than the electron but smaller than the proton, giving a magnetic moment mu p smaller than the electron. Mu p is smaller than the electron. Next, the neutron has the largest mass among the three particles, given the electron, proton and the neutrons, resulting the smallest magnetic moment. So mu n be smallest. Thus the order would be mu electron is greater than the mu proton is greater than the mu neutron. So I think option A would be the correct. Next, a particle moving along the x-axis approaches x equal to 0 from x equal to minus infinity with a total energy E, it is subjected to a potential Vx. For time t tends to infinity, the probability density Px of a particle is schematically shown in the figure. This is the wave function, and after it's across the potential well, it's become the straight line. So you have to find the correct option of the potential versus distance. This is the option. This is the constant above the equatorial line. This is the below, and this is the square types. This is the 4 option. So for solving this, the probability density is here oscillatory for x less than 0. Probability density means the px. The probability density px is oscillatory for x less than 0, indicating a classically allowed region where the particle's total energy, this is the concept, total energy is greater than the potential energy. And for the probability density constant for x greater than 0 is indicating the particle exists with uniform probability at the region. This suggests the potential is constant. So check the option C. Here C, the potential is constant. This is for x greater than 0. Okay. So indicating the particle exists with uniform probability in that region. This is uniform here. So this suggests the potential Vx is constant with x greater than 0 region. So option should be C, would be the correct option. Answer would be the C. So next, the question number 7. A plane electromagnetic wave is incident on an interface AB separating two media, refractive indices N1 1.5, N2 2.0 at Brewster's angle theta b as schematically shown in the figure. The angle alpha in degree between the reflected wave and the refracted wave would be what? So you just do in yourself. So you just apply here the Brewster's law. Apply the Brewster's law and you just try 1 or 2 line by yourself, and after we just solve here. So I think you just able to do in yourself this question. Very simple. Just apply the Brewster's law here. So here I just do universal that at QB point reflected and refracted wave are perpendicular. Simple. At this point the reflected wave and the refracted wave are the perpendicular. So perpendicular means the alpha should be what? 90 degree. Simple concept, class 12 optics section. I just wait 3 or 4 minutes because I just want to know your ability of the concept of yours own. Simple. So alpha would be here 90 degree. So option C would be the correct. Next, quick. Question number 8. In the electric field of an electromagnetic wave is given by E equal to 4x plus 3y into exponential I omega t plus alpha x minus 600y. Then the value of alpha would be what? All the values are in the SI unit. Let us solve. So here the propagation vector, that the k is the alpha x minus 600y, and the polarization vector n cap is what? 4x plus 3y. Okay, since electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature, you just know, so the relation k dot n cap equal to 0. I already discussed in your electromagnetic wave class section, the theory discussion session. So k dot n equal to 0. That implies that you just do dot product and get the 4a or be the 4 alpha minus 600 into 3, that is equal to 0. So alpha or a, that you just say, it would become 1800 by 4. It would be become 450. So 450, A would be our correct answers. Next. So next question. Question number 9. A vector field is expressed in the cylindrical coordinate system S, phi and z. F is defined A by S cap plus B by S z cap. In this field represents an electrostatic field. Then the possible values of A and B respectively are what? First try in yourself. So here F is electrostatic field means you just know for F is electrostatic field, the curl F must be 0. Okay. The curl of the force field must be 0. So curl F would be what? So curl F is equal to 1 by S determinant of S cap, S phi, Z cap, the unit basis, and here the del S, del phi, del Z, and the component here the AS, S A phi and the AZ. Okay, just put this value. That is equal to 1 by S determinant of S cap, S phi cap and the Z cap, and the here del S del del phi and the del del z. That would become the a by s, the component here, and here s into 0, no component means the 0, here the b by s. Just calculate in your zone. So 1 by s cap into 0 minus s phi, so b by minus s square, the differentiation minus 0 plus z cap 0 minus 0. This would be what? That b by s square phi cap. By the condition it would become 0. That implies the b must be 0. B would be here vanish. So you have to find the value of a and b. So b would be 0, means a1 and b0. Option A would be the correct. Next question. Question number 10. Section A, 1 marks question, last question. Which one of the following type of motion may be represented by the trajectory yx equal to x square plus bx plus c, where ab and the c are constant, xy are the position coordinate? Do yourself. This is very simple. Y equal to x square plus bx plus c. It is an equation of what? X square equal to 4ay. That means the equation of parabola. Okay. The equation of parabola. So option A would be the correct. Projectile motion in a uniform gravitational field. Because the trajectory of projectile motion in a uniform gravitational field become the parabolic nature. Okay. So option A would be the correct. Projectile motion in a uniform field would be the gravitational. Option A would be correct. Next. Section A, question 11 to 30 carry 2 marks. First question, question number 11. A crystal plane of a lattice intercept the principal axes A1, A2 and A3 at 3A1, 4A2 and 2A3 respectively. The mirror indices of the plane are what? Do yourself first. So I just give a hint you. So first one, intercept along the crystallographic axis, that the x equal to 3a1 and y equal to 4a2 and z equal to 2a3. This is given. So you first find divide by lattice parameter. This is the intercept. Intercepts. Next, this is 1. Second, divide by lattice parameter. And the third, take reciprocal. This is the procedure. And the fourth one, make all integers. And you have find the mirror indices. So you just do yourself. minus so I think you just all able to solve yourself. So here the x would be what? 3a1 by a1, that is the 3, and the y, that is equal to 4a2 by a2, that is the 4, and the z 2a3 divided by a3, that is the 2. So take reciprocal. So reciprocal means one third, 1/4, and the half, and make integer. So make integer, you just do in your lower mathematics, that's LCM. 436. So 436. So 436 would be a correct answer. 436 option A. Next, the number of atoms in the basis of a primitive cell of hexagonal closed packed structure is what? Do yourself first. So in HCP, hexagonal closed packed lattice is described by a primitive shell with a basis of two atoms. The HCP lattice, I just write the HCP lattice is described by a primitive shell with a basis of two atoms. So 2 would be a correct answer. Option B would be correct. Next, consider the following logic circuit. The output Y is low when is in the what condition? So here the output would be what? This is and this is the XOR. So here A output, so the output would be Y equal to A XOR AB bar, because this is the NOT. So this is given at the low. Low means this is 0 because the low given. The condition that A, so first one, that A is 1, first option, A is 1 means high and B is low means B equal to 0. That the AB would be what? 0. That implies that Y equal to 1 XOR 0 bar, that is the 0. So output is low. So we just check first option and first option be the correct answer. Option A be the correct. Next, from the mathematical physics, the value of the line integral for the vector v equal to 2x cap plus y z square y cap plus 3y plus z square z cap along the closed path OABO. Path AB are the arc of a circle of unit radius. This is arc of a circle of unit radius. You have to find the line integral of this part OABO. So I just hints you solve yourself. So here the line integral that the closed line integral in the path O A B O that is equal to means in the path B dot dl that is equal to surface integral of curl of V into dA elementary area. V dot dl equal to curl of V dA. So you first find the curl of this function, and after you just got the solution. For better practice, because tomorrow is the JAM exam, so you just solve yourself, and after I just solve. First you just try in yourself, and after you just got the solution. So here the curl V, that's the determinant x, y, z unit basis, the del del x, del del y, and the del del s. Component 2 y z square 3y plus z square. This would be what? X cap into 3 minus 2yz minus y cap 0 minus 0 plus z cap 0 minus 0. This would be what? 3 minus 2yz into x cap. Okay, let us redraw the path in xy plane so that we can apply the cylindrical coordinate system. Same path is in the cylindrical coordinate system. So let us, this is the x and the y and the z. So the path of the arc be this one. This is the elementary area that in the z direction be the dA. This path, this is OAB. Okay, you just now apply the cylindrical coordinate system. So here, so curl B, that in cylindrical coordinate system the dA elementary surface area, that r dr d phi z cap, and the x r cos theta, r cos phi, sorry, y equal to r sin phi. So that imply that the curl V dot dA equal to what? 3 minus 2r square cos phi sin phi into r dr and the d phi. So it become 3 minus r square sin 2 phi, that the r dr d phi. Okay, so now just take both sides the integral, that surface integral is curl f means the curl V dA, that would be what? The integral r0 to 1 and the phi integral here 0 to pi by 2 for cylindrical system. Here the 3 minus r square sin twice phi r dr d phi. You just calculate, it will become 3 into half into pi by 2 minus 1 by 4 into minus cos twice phi divided by 2 0 to pi by 2. So this would become, you just calculate, so just put cos minus cos pi plus cos 0, and this one would be 3 pi by 4 minus 1/4. That would become 1 by 4 into 3 pi minus 1. 1 by 4 3 pi minus 1. Option A would be the correct answer. A. Very important question. Next, in the xy plane, a vector is given fxy that the minus y x cap plus xy cap divided by x square plus y square. The magnitude of the flux curl F through a circular loop of radius 2 center at the origin be what? Similar question. Do yourself. So now, first of all, the curl F. X cap, y cap, z cap, the unit basis. Del del x, del del y, del del z. And here the x component, that the minus y divided by x square plus y square, and the y component x divided by x square plus y square. This component be 0. Just calculate. So x component would be 0. X cap 0 minus 0 minus y cap 0 minus 0 plus z cap. So del del x of what? X by x square plus y square minus minus plus del del y of what? Y by x square plus y square. So curl F must be 0. So here that implies the curl F is equal to z cap. Just do derivative here. So here x square plus y square whole square. So in numerator x square plus y square into 1 minus x into twice x plus this is also the x square plus y square whole square in the denominator. In the numerator x square plus y square into 1 minus y fixed and the y square derivative twice y. This would be the z cap minus x square plus y square plus x square minus y square divided by x square plus y square whole square. So this would be the 0. So magnitude of flux curl F through a circular loop of twice pi, that the V volume integral of curl F dot, this is this V means the circle here, dot dA equal to line integral, this is the line of F dot dl. Okay, this is V, you just say the S, because this is the also the surface integral and we just write the S or V. So here let x be the r cos phi. Put that x equal to r cos phi and the y be the r sin phi. So dx would be what? minus r sin phi d phi, and the dy r cos phi, and the d phi be the differential. So you have to find that f dot dl here, or f dot dl would be what? So this is the r square cos square phi plus r square sin square phi. So here the r sin phi with minus r sin phi d phi plus r cos phi. Calculate yourself, and the r cos phi, calculate yourself and put on the answer in the comment box. R cos phi into d phi, that would become the r square d phi divided by r square, that would become the d phi. So that implies that the line integral of f dot dl is equal to 0 to twice pi of d phi. So 0 to twice pi d phi means the twice pi. So twice pi would be the correct answer. Option B would be the correct. Next, the root of the polynomial fz equal to z to the power 4 minus 8 z cube plus 27 z square minus 38 z plus 26 z1 z2 z3 z4, where the z be the complex number. Which all of the following statement is the correct? Mathematical physics questions. Do yourself and put on the answer in the comment box. Very important questions that I just do here. The fz, z to the power 4 minus 8 z cube, 27 z square, 38 z plus 26. Okay. So root z1, z2, z3 and z4 are decided by the matrix that the m is equal to 0, 0, 0, minus 26, 4 by 4 matrix, 1, 0, 0, 38, 0, 1, 0, minus 27, last row 0, 0, 1 and the 8. So trace of m be the 8 and the determinant of m be the 26. So here the summation of root, that sum of lambda I be the what? The trace of the matrix, that is the 8, and the product of the root, that capital pi I lambda I, that very important questions, determinant of the matrix, that is this 26. That implies that z1 plus z2 plus z3 plus z4 divided by, very important question also, z3 z4, this would be what? 8 by 26. So 4 by 13. B would be our correct answer, 4 by 13. Next, the ultraviolet catastrophe in the classical realization theory of cavity radiation is attributed to the assumption that which option should be the correct? The standing wave of all allowed frequency in the cavity have the same average energy. The density of the standing wave in the cavity is independent of shape and size of the cavity. The allowed frequency of the standing wave inside the cavity have no upper limit. The number of allowed frequencies for the standing wave of a frequency nu to d nu plus d nu is proportional to nu square. So, this is a theoretical questions. So you just know one thing, the Rayleigh's law describes the spectral energy density of black body radiation is given by the U nu T, that is equal to rho nu into energy average, that is equal to 8 pi nu square divided by C cube kBT. Very important. Where U nu T, the spectral energy density, means the energy per unit frequency per unit volume, and the rho nu, that be the 8 pi nu square by C cube. This is the density of the modes, and the average energy be the kT. Okay, kB be the Boltzmann factor. So this law predicts that as frequency nu increases, the energy density increase without bound. Okay, which leads to a ultraviolet catastrophe. Very important concept. This theory assumes the energy is equally distributed among all modes, leading to an observation of energy at high frequencies, that the standing wave of all around frequencies in the cavity have a same average energy. That means, so option A would be the correct. Next, given that the rest mass of electron 0.511 mega electron volt per second square, the speed of an electron with kinetic energy 5.1 mega electron volt is close to what? So this is from the general property of matter and the mechanics, special theory of relativity. So you just know the relation, the energy equal to K plus m naught c square. Okay, that is equal to 10 into 0.511 plus 0.511. So energy means here, so here the m naught c square divided by the 1 minus v square by c square, that is equal to 11 into, this is the 11 into 0.511. This 0.511 and m naught c square be the cancel out. So 1 minus v square by c square would be what? 1 by 11 square, that 1 by 121. So the v square by c square would be 120 by 121, and we have to find the speed v would be what? This root over 120 by 121 c, that would be 0.996 after calculating the calculator, 0.996 c. This would be the speed. So option A would be the correct. 0.996 C. Okay. Next question. A one-dimensional infinite square potential is given by fx equal to 0 for minus a by 2 less than x less than plus a by 2 and infinity elsewhere. Let Ex and psi x be the ground state energy and the corresponding wave function respectively. If an electron is trapped in the well, similarly, let E mu x and psi mu x be the corresponding quantities. If a muon is trapped in this well, choose the correct option. Very important. These are 4 options looking here, and you have to choose the correct one. So here the normalized ground state wave function of one dimensional infinite square potential, that the psi x root 2 by a cos pi x by a for n equal to 1, and the ground state wave function is symmetric about the center of potential well, and the energy E1 be the pi square a square by twice m square. This is symmetric about a potential well. So m be the mass of the particle. Since the muon is heavier than the electron, the muon of mass is heavier than the electron, and since the energy is inversely proportional to the particle mass, so therefore the energy of muon is less than the energy of the electron. By this concept, we just choose the correct option C, because here the potential energy of electron here the greater. Okay, the electron energy is greater than the muon energy. In the option C holds this condition. C would be the correct answer. Next, in a Newton's rig experiment, there is an air gap of height d between the glass plate and the plano convex lens. The central fringe is observed to the right. The least possible value of d is what? Conceptual questions from optics. Do yourself first. Here simple, we just apply a formula that d equal to lambda by 4 at the Newton's rig experiment, that 580 lambda divided by 4, that would be the 145 nanometer. 145 nanometer. A would be correct option. Next, linear polarized light is incident normally on a retarding plate. The emergent light is observed to be linear polarized. LP to LP, irrespectively of the angle between the direction of the polarization and the optic axis of the plate. You have to find the minimum thickness of the plate is what? So here the retarding plate would be what? Linear, or it would become circular or elliptical. One concept is that here the linear polarized light become emergent, observed also the linear polarized, so it would become the half wave plate. So here the n of E ray O ray difference, that into T would be lambda by 2. Okay, refractive index of E ray difference with the refractive index of the O ray into T would be lambda naught by 2. So it is given here 0.05 T into is equal to lambda naught 600 divided by 2 into 10 to the power minus 9 is in nanometer. So you have to find the meter range. So T would be what? 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter. So 6 micrometer. 6 micrometer. Just a minute. 6 micrometer means option A would be the correct. Next. A 15.7 milliwatt laser beam has a diameter of 4 millimeter. If the amplitude of the associated magnetic field is expressed as A by root over epsilon naught C cube, you have to find the value of the A. Very important questions from electromagnetic wave. So here that I just discussed in the chapter summary class, I equal to intensity power by pi r square, that is equal to half C epsilon naught E naught square. Okay, that is equal to C B naught square by twice mu, that is equal to twice mu naught, that C B naught square by 2. 1 by mu naught means what? C square epsilon naught. So this would become the final result C cube mu naught B naught square by 2. Very important. C cube mu naught B naught square by 2. Just put this value. That implies the B naught square would be twice P pi r square into C cube mu naught. So B would be what? B would be root over of twice P divided by pi r square C cube epsilon naught. Put this value. So 15.7 milliwatt means 10 to the power minus 3. Pi means 3.14 into r square means 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square into C cube epsilon naught. Put this value. You would get the root over of 2500 divided by root over of C naught C cube mu naught. This would be what? Root 2500 means 50 and the root over C cube mu naught. So compare with the result. That is given that A by root over epsilon naught C cube. That implies that A would be what? 50. Very important question. 50 would be answer. Option A is correct. 50. Next. The plane z equal to 0 separate two linear dielectric medium with relative permittivity epsilon r1 4 and 3 respectively. There is no free charge in the interface. If the electric field in the medium 3x plus 2y plus 4z, then the dielectric displacement vector d2 in the medium 2 would be what? You have to find the displacement vector in the medium 2. Do yourself first. Do yourself, I just do for your clarification. So here the relation of the surface interface at xy plane at z equal to 0, the surface charge of the surface is be 0. E1 and E2 is given. So here E1, this is the 3x plus 2y. So this would be the E2. Here E1 parallel. This would be the E2 parallel. Okay. And the E1 perpendicular would be what? 4z. This is the perpendicular direction. So D1 relation, D1 perpendicular equal to D2 perpendicular. That implies that epsilon 1 E1 perpendicular equal to epsilon 2 E2 perpendicular. These are the very important and rare question in JAM exam, and that imply the U2 perpendicular, that would be the epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 2 E1 perpendicular, that is equal to 4 epsilon naught 3 epsilon naught into 4z. This would be the 16 by 3 z cap. Okay. So now therefore E1 E2 dash would be what? The E2 perpendicular plus E2 parallel, that is given 3x plus 2y plus, we just get the 16 by 3z, that imply the D2 would be epsilon to E2. So 3 epsilon naught E2. Okay, that would be 9x plus 6y plus 16z into epsilon naught. 9x plus 16y, 9x plus 6y plus 16z. Option C would be the correct. 9x plus 6y plus 16z into epsilon naught. Option C. Next. A tank placed on a ground is filled with water with a height h. A small hole is made at a height h1 such that h1 less than h. The water jet emerging from the hole strikes the ground at the horizontal distance d as shown schematically in the figure. Which of the following statement is the correct? This is the acceleration due to gravity. Just try yourself first. So here you just know the velocity of water existing the hole, the V would be root 2gh. 2g, this is from the general property of matter, h minus h1. Okay. And so first one would be not. Second option, the time taken t would be what? 2h1 by g. So the distance, you have to find the distance. I just check all the option. So d would be what? A is equal to vt. Okay. V means twice g h minus h1 into twice h1 by g. This would be what? Twice square root of h1 h minus h1. So B also be incorrect. Square root is missing here. Option C. For your better concept, we just do here all the type check the options. Here d will be the maxima minima condition. First order derivative should be 0. So d capital D dh1, here d be the distance, okay, and ddh be the operator differentiation. So 2 root over h1 into h minus h1 into h minus h1 minus h1. This is be for maxima minima. It should be 0 by the condition of mathematics. So h minus 2h1, that would be 0. So h1 would be the half. Okay, half h. Here is given 2/3 h. So C would be on, C is also incorrect. So by the observation D would be the correct. But we just check here. The maximum value of D. Maximum means at the height h1 equal to h by 2. Substitute in the D. D would be what? Twice root h1 h minus h1. Okay, that 2 root over of, just put the h1 at h by 2, h minus h by 2. That would be h minus h by 2, h by 2, h by 2, h by 2, h square by 4 means the h by 2 equal to 2 into h by 2. That would become the h. So I just observation, D would be correct answer. And we also check the option here at this point, at h1 equal to h by 2. This would be the maximum value of the D would be the h. Next, an incompressible fluid is flowing through a vertical pipe. A thin mesh having n circular hole of area h is fixed at the bottom end of the pipe. The speed of the fluid entering to end of the pipe is v naught. The volume flow rate from an individual hole at the mesh is given by what? G be the acceleration of the cavity. You have to find the volume flow rate. Means what? Volume flow rate means dVdt. Okay, you just do yourself. So here we just apply the Bernoulli's equation between the top of the pipe and the bottom, that states that P naught plus half rho V naught square, that's equal to, also the plus rho gh, V naught square plus rho gh become the P1 plus half rho V1 square. Okay, thus here the P naught is become what? The P1 given. So half rho V naught square plus rho g is equal to half rho V1 square, or V1 square plus equal to V naught square plus 2gh. So the volume flow rate through the individual hole, that is the Q equal to what? H V1, equation of continuity. Volume through entering of the pipe is equal to volume flow rate at the outgoing of the pipe. Q equal to H V1, AV, area and the velocity. Area and the velocity. This is the volume rate. Put this value here. A naught divided by n root over V naught square plus 2gh. Okay. Option A would be the correct. A naught by n root over V naught square plus 2gh. Next. A ball is dropped from a height h to the ground. If the coefficient of the restitution is e, the time required for the ball to stop bouncing is proportional to what? I think this question is from the JEE type question from class 12, the work energy power chapter. It is also coming in the IIT JAM. Do yourself and put on the answer in the comment box quickly. So here the schematic diagram, that this is the total age. Okay. This is the T1. For your better understanding, I just do here the schematic diagram, and after bouncing, this is the T2. And this is the E into V1. E means the coefficient of the restitution. And after, this is the T2 here. Here is also T3. Okay. So, substitute. T1 would be what? Half GT square. Twice H by G. That the V1 would be root 2GH. So 0 equal to V equal to U minus AT. So U means the E V1 minus AT means G T2. Here we apply V equal to U minus AT. Okay. That imply T2 would be what? E V1 by G. Put the value 2H by G. This is the T2. So T3 would be what? E square 2G 2H by the observation, and dot dot so on. Capital T. T1 plus, very important concept, 2T1 twice T3 twice T4 plus dot 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 would be what? 2H by G plus 2E 2H by G, common here, 1 plus E square plus E cube plus dot dot dot. This would be what? That imply T equal to root 2G by H 1 plus E divided by 1 minus E. Option B would be the correct. 1 plus E with the denominator 1 minus E. B would be the correct. Next. A cylinder piston system consists n atom of an ideal gas if T average is the average time between successive collision of a given atom with another atom. If the temperature T of the gas is increased isobarically, then T average is proportional to what? You have to find the T average. It is coming from the kinetic theory of gases. So here you just know that the T average is equal to 1 by n sigma V. N equal to what? P by kT. P equal to n kT, Clapeyron equation. And the V would be what? 8 kT by pi m. Okay. So T average would be kT by rho sigma into pi m divided by 8 kt, that is proportional to root t at constant p. So A would be the correct answers, root over t. Okay. Next, a gas consists of particles is having 3 transitional and 3 rotational degree of freedom. The ratio of specific heat Cp by Cv would be what? Question number 28. So here the total degrees of freedom, that is what? 3 plus 3 equal to 6, and the average energy would be the number of degrees of freedom into half kT. This is the equipartition theorem. So 6 into half kT, that would be the 3 kT. Okay. So Cv is equal to what? D average dt, that is equal to 3k, and 3k equal to 3R per mole. So Cp would be what? Cv plus R. So 3R plus R, that the 4R, and we have to find the gamma. The specific heat at constant pressure with the ratio of the specific heat at the constant volume would be 4/3. 4/3 would be the correct answer. Option C is correct. Next, if two travelling waves given by y1 and y2 are superposed, which one of the following statement is the correct? Question number 29. Do yourself first. So here we just check the option. Suppose we just check, for a standing wave, both travelling waves should move in opposite direction. So A and B are wrong, because in option A, the resulting wave is standing wave. This is not correct, because for standing wave, you just know one thing, that for travelling wave should move in opposite direction. This is the opposite direction. So by the observation, A would be the incorrect and B also the incorrect. Okay. So we just check the option C, if alpha and beta are the C. So here the resulting wave y equal to y1 plus y2, that 2a0 sine, put this value alpha and the beta are the 2. So 2a0 sine 3 by 2 kx minus 3 by 2 omega t cos half k x minus half omega t, that would be, that imply y equal to twice a naught cos k by 2 x minus omega by 2 t into sine 3 by 2 kx minus 3 by 2 omega t. Okay. So the carrier frequency lies between the omega 1, that the omega, here omega, this is the carrier frequency, carrier, and the omega 2 omega, this is. So option C would be the correct. For alpha beta 2, the carrier frequency of resultant wave 3 by 2 omega, here the 3 by 2 omega. Okay, 3 by 2 omega would be the correct option. Option C would be the correct here. So now go ahead. Next question. Suppose that there is a dispersive medium whose refractive index depend on the wavelength is given by L lambda equal to n naught plus a by lambda square minus b by lambda to the power 4. The value of lambda at which the group and phase velocity would be the same. This is very important questions. Every year this question is coming from the IIT JAM. One or two. One is for the MCQ and another for the MSQ. Group and the phase velocity. So here the given that the phase velocity and the group velocity is the same. Then d Vp d lambda, same means the constant. Okay, d lambda should be 0 because this is no dispersive. This is 0 because the no dispersive medium. This is given. The no disperse mean one thing. The dVp d lambda is 0. That means medium is dispersive. And for the no dispersive medium, the dVp d lambda that not equal to 0. This is the meaning. So dd lambda of this is the c by n, because v equal to c by n, c equal to n lambda, c equal to n lambda. This is the c or v equal to n lambda. So v equal to, so n equal to what? C by lambda. N equal to c by lambda. So c by n here. So minus c square by minus c by n square dn d lambda. This would be 0. That imply the dn d lambda should be 0. Okay, very important question. I repeat 6 times that n equal to what is given? N naught plus a by lambda square minus b by lambda to the power 4. This is equal to 0. Do derivative minus 2a by lambda cube plus this one 4b by lambda to the power 5. This should be 0 and you have to find the lambda, that twice b divided by a. So twice b divided by a would be the correct answer. Option A is the correct, twice b by a with square root. So we just solve here the all MCQ type questions. Next one is the section B MSQ. 2 marks each. Question 31 to 40. A pure silicon crystal can be converted to n-type crystal by doping with what? Question number 31. Very easy question. Do yourself and put on the answer in the comment box. This is the MSQ. Multiple select questions. 1 or 2 options should be the correct. So for n-type crystal, silicon is doped with pentavalent impurity. Okay, pentavalent impurity. Pentavalent impurity because the P, S and the SB. So here P would be correct, S also be the correct and SB also be the correct. Option C would be the correct. A, B and the C. And I just clarify one thing. If there is no partial mark, suppose you have to put on the answer on the A, B, not C, you would be 0. But there is no negative marking. And either you put on the answer on A, B or C, D, you would be 0, or you just put A, B, C, 3 comma in, all these are correct, and after you just get the correct marks plus 2. Here A, B, C would be the correct. Next, question number 32. In the following op-amp circuit, V in and V out, represent the input and the output signal respectively. Choose the correct option. So here, so in this case, this is basically the op-amp of inverting and non-inverting, because this is input signal plus, here the input signal is in the minus. With this concept that the V output is equal to 1 plus R2 divided by R1 into V input, and the V output would be what? Minus R1 by R2 into V output. This is basically the dashed, plus 1 plus R1 by R2 into R3 by R3 plus R3 into V input, because these two I just do A plus A by A plus B. Basically, suppose this one, this is the A by B, this point resistance equivalent, that imply the V output is equal to minus R1 by R2 1 plus R2 by R1 into V input plus half of this calculation 1 plus R1 by R2 into V input. That implies that V output would be what? Minus R1 by R2 minus 1 plus half plus R1 by, this would be 1 2 R2 into V input. So V output would be minus half common here, 1 plus R1 by R2 into V input. So output is out of phase with input. Okay. So option A would be correct. A would be correct. And next, when the R1 equal to R2, then the V out with the ratio of the V input would be what? Minus half, as it is 1 plus, this should be the 1. R1 equal to R2, this should be 1 minus 1. Okay. So B would be the correct. Gain is unity. Here this is the gain, mod of V output by V input. So mod minus 1 would be 1. Gain is unity when R1 is R2. So option A and B would be the correct. Go ahead. Our next question, third MSQ. A spring mass system initially at rest is lying along the y-axis in the horizontal plane. One end of the spring is fixed of the mass 5 kg is attached at its other end. The mass is pulled along the y-axis by 0.5 meter from its equilibrium position and then released. Choose the correct option from the given 4. First, do yourself. So here we just know the frequency of the spring mass system omega equal to root over k by m. Okay, that is the root over 80 by 5. 4. And r equal to b by twice m. R equal to b by twice m. Just a minute. that 40 by 2 into 5. This would be what? Now 4. This case is critically damped case at r equal to omega naught. At r equal to omega naught, this is the in the critically damped. Because these two are same. Trajectory of the mass equal to what? Y equal to, this is given y naught 1 plus RT. This is the trajectory equation, exponential of RT. This is the trajectory of the critically damped oscillator. Critically damped oscillator trajectory. So here just put in the value that imply y equal to 0.5 1 plus 40 e to the power minus 40. Okay, so option C would be the correct. Motion will be critically damped because the omega equal to r, and the trajectory would be what? Yt equal to half of, this would be the correct, y equal to half of 1 plus 40 into exponential minus 40. Next problem. Consider two different Compton scattering experiment in which X-ray gamma ray of wavelength are scattered from the stationary free electrons. The scatter wavelength lambda dash is measured as a function of scattering angle theta. If Compton shift del lambda is equal to lambda dash minus lambda, then which of the following statement is or are true? You just do in your home and put on the answer in the comment box. Just a minute. So here we now check the 4 options. So have anyone solved these questions and tell me the answers by commenting. So here we now check the option that Compton shift is defined by the formula del lambda is equal to lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h by mec into r minus cos theta. This is the formula, that is equal to 0.02426 Armstrong is given 1 minus cos theta. So option A, for gamma rays the maximum scatter wavelength, that lambda dash max is equal to lambda plus 0.02426 Armstrong into, this is for theta equal to pi, maximum theta equal to pi, so 1 minus cos pi. This would be what? Approximately 0.098 Armstrong. So option A would be the correct. Option B, for X-ray the shift occurs at theta equal to 180 degree. Okay, So B would be also the correct because the maximum speed occurs at the theta equal to 180 degree. And option C for X-ray, the del lambda max, that the del lambda, it is the option A checking, option B checking, option C checking. The del lambda is equal to what? So del lambda is equal to 0.02426 Armstrong into 1 minus cos phi, maximum at theta equal to pi. This would be what? 0.04852 Armstrong. So option C is not correct. And for the D, for gamma ray at theta equal to 90 degree, the lambda dash would be what? Lambda plus 0.02426 Armstrong at 1 equal to cos pi by 2 90 degree. This would be what? 0.07326 Armstrong after calculation. So here this is 0.049. So this also be the incorrect. Option A and B would be the correct. Okay. Go ahead our next question. Question number 35. A particular mass M having an energy E and angular momentum L is in a parabolic trajectory around a planet of mass M. If the distance of the closed approach of the planet is Rm, which one of the following is or are be the true? Question number 35. Do yourself first. So here for parabolic path means energy is equal to 0 and eccentricity, it would be what? You just write in your comment box what would be the eccentricity for the parabolic path where energy is 0. At distance of closest approach means what? The r dot is equal to 0 and the energy is equal to what? Half. Energy means the T plus V. So half m r dot square plus L square by 2m r square minus g mm by r. That imply E would be the 0. So 0 r dot is equal to 0. L square by 2m rm square minus g mm r equal to rm. So this would become the L angular momentum 2g mm into rm. This would be the correct. Here B is energy 0, option B is correct, and C the angular momentum root over 2g m r square into rm. Option B and C be the correct. Question number 36. The inertial frame S dash is moving away from the inertial frame S with a speed 0.6 c along the negative x direction. The origin O dash and O of the frame coincide at t equal to t dash equal to 0 as observed in the frame S dash. Two events occur simultaneously at 2 points on the x dash axis with a separation del x dash equal to 5 meter. If del t and del x are the magnitudes of the time interval and the space interval respectively between the events, then which one of the following statements are correct? Okay. So here solve yourself and give me the answer in the comment box. So here we apply the Lorentz transformation equation for xtv, that x equal to x dashed plus velocity minus vt divided by gamma 1 minus v square by c square. This is the x. So del x would be what? Obviously del x dash minus v del t dash divided by root over 1 minus v square by c square. put this value 5m minus 0 divided by root over 1 minus 0.6 square. This would be the 6.25 meter. And you have to find the t. Therefore, this is the formula t we just discussed in the chapter summary in a nutshell in our topic discussion. The special relativity in the classical mechanics CSIN lecture series in the Schrödinger SCAD YouTube channel. We already discussed the theory, and after the del t would be what? The del t dash minus u by c square. Just take a del x dash, just divide by u by 1 minus v square by c square. Put this value 0 minus 0.6 c divided by c square into 5, and in IIT JAM, I just clarify one thing: the time management is very important and crucial, because you have the 180 minute solving the 60 number of questions. So per question 6 into 60 into 3 180, per question 3 minutes, and you have to solve the per questions within 2.5 minutes. So del t would be what here? 12.5 10 to the power minus 9, so nanosecond. So option A, del t 12.5 nanosecond, A would be correct. And the option D, the del x 6.25 meter, we have calculated 6.25 meter, D would be correct. Here A and D would be the correct. Next, question number 37. For LCR AC circuit shown in the figure below, choose the correct option. Solve yourself and put on the answer in the comment box. So here in LCR side, the resonant frequency is what? Omega naught 1 by root over of LC. Okay. So option A is incorrect, because omega naught depend on L, C and R. Here only L and C. At omega equal to omega naught, VR and current are in the phase. This is correct by the observation. And at omega naught equal to omega naught, VR depend on R. VR at omega equal to omega naught is independent R. This is also the incorrect. At omega equal to omega naught, VR depend on R and independent of LCR. Only LC. This is the, what? At omega equal to omega naught means what? This is basically the resonance frequency, omega C. So at omega equal to omega naught, independent of LC, because VR is the amplitude of the potential. So D is correct. Here in the question, B and D are the correct option by the observation and some critical aptitudes. Question number 38. The PV diagram of an engine is shown in the figure below. The temperature at the point 1, 2, 3, 4, T1, T2, T3 and T4 respectively, 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are in the adiabatic process, 2 to 3 and 4 to 1 is the isobaric process. Which one of the are correct? This type of questions are coming in every year. This is very important and conceptual. Do yourself and put on the answers correctly. And one thing is that for NAT and MSQ type question, you have to be very sincere and do the answer in the correct way, because there are no part marking. This question. So here 1 transition to 2 and 3 transit to 4, this is at the adiabatic. So by the adiabatic, this equation is hold T gamma, T to the power gamma, P1 to the power 1 minus gamma equal to constant. This means T2 to the power gamma, P2 to the power 1 minus gamma. Okay, that would become T1 with ratio T2 would be the P2 divided by P1 to the power 1 minus gamma by gamma. And for T4 to the power gamma, P1 to the power 1 minus gamma equal to T3 to the power gamma, P2 to the power 1 minus gamma. That implies that T4 divided by 3T, that's equal to P2 divided by P1 to the power 1 minus gamma divided by gamma. So this is the equation number 1 and the equation number 2. So from equation 1 and the 2, we just clarify one thing, that T1 by T2 equal to T4 by T3. That is equal, that is T1 T3 is equal to T2 T4. Further, in a cyclic process, system return to its initial state. Thermodynamic coordinates are same, that the del S, change in entropy in the cyclic system, that is equal to 0. So C is correct, and here option A is correct. T1 T3 equal to T2 T4. We just calculate here. And option B, the efficiency of the engine, we have to find the efficiency. And C, the change in entropy in the entire cycle is 0. This is also correct. And D would not be correct because T1 T2 is not equal to T3 T4. And you have to find the efficiency. So here dq is 0 in adiabatic process. And process 2 to 3, that is V proportional to T. 2 to 3 and 4 to 1, here the V proportional to T, volume proportional to temperature. And you have to find the efficiency, that so Q1 n Cp del T, that is Cp T3 minus T2 for n equal to 1, and the Q2 n Cp del T, that is equal to Cp T4 minus T1. So eta is equal to what? 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Okay. So 1 minus, put this value, T4 minus T1 and the T3 minus T2. Now from 2, so T3 is equal to what? T3 is equal to P1 by P2 to the power 1 minus gamma by gamma. And the T2 is equal to P1 by P2 by the equation 1 and 2. 1 minus gamma by gamma into T1. Just put this value. That implies that eta equal to 1 minus, put this value. So T4 minus T1, and here the T3, that would be the P1 by P2 to the power 1 minus gamma divided by gamma into T4 minus T1. So T4 minus T1 would be cancelled out. So here would be 1 minus P1 by P2, 1 minus gamma by gamma with the negative sign. So reverse, 1 minus gamma by gamma. So minus of 1 minus gamma by gamma, that would become the gamma minus 1 divided by gamma, because minus of 1 minus gamma by gamma. Okay, that the gamma minus 1 by gamma. So efficiency would be correct. The efficiency of the engine is what? 1 minus P1 by P2 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. go ahead our next question. Question number 39. A whistle S of sound frequency A is oscillating with the angular frequency omega along the x-axis. Its instantaneous position and velocity are given by xt is a sin omega t and vt v naught cos omega t respectively. An observer P is located on the y-axis at the distance L from the origin. So let Vpst be the component of Vt along the line joining the source and the observer. So you have to choose the correct option. Question number 39. Do yourself and put on the answer. So here check the 4 option, that the velocity of Ps at t, that the Vt cos theta, that is equal to, put this value, V naught cos theta xt divided by root over L square plus xt square, that equal to Vpst, that is equal to 1 by 2 half V naught A divided by root over L square plus A square sin square omega t sin 2 omega t. And at point O, the velocity is perpendicular to OP. That frequency of apparent is equal to frequency of actual. Okay, that is equal to F. And at x equal to plus minus A, velocity is 0. So there will be no Doppler's effect at the position. So F apparent equal to F actual equal to F. A would be the correct options. We just calculate Vpst equal to half A V naught by root of I square sin square omega t plus L square into sin 2 omega t. And B would be the correct. The observed frequency will be F when the source is at x equal to 0 and x equal to plus minus A. This is for the x equal to 0, and for the F apparent is equal to frequency of actual is equal to F at x equal to 0. Sorry, x equal to plus minus A. So A and B would be the correct option. Next, go ahead. 1 mole of ideal monoatomic gas initially at temperature T naught is expanded from an initial volume V naught to 2.5 V naught. Which one of the statements are correct? Last question of our MSQ questions. So let us do that. So let us check one by one. First, the option A, because basically in your MSQ type question you have to check the one by one options. For an isothermal process, the work done nRT V2 by V1, that is equal to what? 1 R T naught ln 2.5 V naught divided by V naught. This would become R T naught ln 2.5. Okay. Basically, A is incorrect. Next, for an ideal gas, temperature no change. B is checking, so dt is equal to 0. Implies that change of internal energy should be vanished. So B would be the correct. Next, option C checking. For an isobaric process, the work done W is equal to P integration dV, that is the P V2 minus V1, 2.5 V0 minus V0, that is the 1.5 P V0, that equal to 1.5 RT naught. Okay, so C is be correct. 1.5 means 3 by 2 RT naught. Now check the option D, that when the process is in an isobaric, internal energy, basically the du change in internal energy NCV/dt. So half 1 into 3 by 2 r dv dt. So 2.5 T naught minus T naught. So this would become 9 by 4 T naught. 9 by 4 R T naught. Basically V is proportional to T. So R T naught, D would be incorrect. 9 by 2 here, and we have to find the 9 by 4. So option B and C are the correct. So we just complete our 10 MSQ type question. MSQ are very time consuming because you have to check the 4 option. Go ahead, our switched our lecture into NET. Question 41 to 50 or 1 mark, and 51 to 60 2 marks. Numerical answer type questions. So consider a p-n junction diode which has 10 to the power 23 acceptor atom per meter cube in a p site and 10 to the power 22 donor atom in meter cube in n site in the depletion width in the p site of 0.16 micrometer. Then the value of the depletion width in the n site will be what micrometer? Round up to 1 dimensional places. Basically 1 decimal places. Question number 42. So quick, you solve and feedback the answer to me. So we just apply here all the mathematical type of questions. We just apply here a formula that xp n acceptor xn n donor. You have to find the xn, that is the xp n acceptor n donor. Put this value 0.16 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 10 to the power 22. So this is the xn. So xn would become 1.6 micrometer. So we have to find the answer would be 1.6. All the net type questions are 1 or 2 line or basically harder than the 3 line. You put the formula and use the given data and solve. And here you have to very careful for solving these questions, and most careful is the MSQ. So the coordinate system is transformed to xyz to uvw given by the 3 linear equation. The Jacobian of the above transformation is the what? Easy question from mathematical physics. Solve this. So here the Jacobian, this would be the 1.6. For the Jacobian J, that the del u vw del xyz, that the determinant of del u del x del u del y del u del z, second row del v del x del v del y del v del z, third row del w del x del w del y del w del z. That is equal to the coefficient here 2, not coefficient, you just do derivative here. Del u del x means 2, del u del y 3, del u del z minus 1, del v del x 1, del v del y minus 4, del v del z 1, just do derivative here. Del w del x 1, del w del y 1, del w del z no factor means the 0. And solve this determinant value, you would be get the minus 4. Okay, minus 4. And Jacobian of the transformation, Jacobian should be the positive. Jacobian should be the positive. So mod z, Jacobian should be the modulus value. So mod of minus 4 would be the 4. 4 would be the correct answers. 4. You just write the 4. So next, two sides of a triangle OAB are given. The area of the triangle is the what? Round of the 1 decimal places. Easy questions from vector. You just put the vector's law in a triangle of the area, that the area del is equal to half modulus of OA cross OB. Okay, so OA cross OB means what? Is equal to OA cross OB, XYZ, the unit bases, and the component here 1, 2, 1, 2, minus 1, 3, and the determinant value would be 7x minus y minus 5z. Okay, so the mod value, therefore the mod value of the what? OA cross OB, root over 49 here plus 1, 5 square 25, that would be root over of 75, 8.66, and the area would be what? Half into 8.66, that would become the 4.3. It would become the 4.33. You have to find the 1 decimal places, so 4.3 would be the answer. 4.3, and one thing is that 4.2 to 4.4, in between these all answers should be the correct. Okay, 4.3 would be the answer. Next, a particle of mass 1 kg initially at rest starts sliding down from the top of a fictionally inclined plane of a angle pi by 6, schematically shown in the figure. The magnitude of the torque of the particle about the point O after time 2 seconds is what? In Newton meter. Round off the nearest integer. Take g equal to 10 meter per second. Simple question, class 12 physics. Solve and give me the answer. So here x equal to half g t square. Half g means g sine 30 degree into t square. Just calculate half into 10 into half into 2 square. T equal to 2 given. This would be the 10 meter. So tau, magnitude of the torque, that what? OC into mg. Basically the r cross f. Tau, the r cross f. R means OC and m means the mg. That would become x cos 30 degree into mg 1 into 10. m1 10g. 10 into root 3 by 2 into 10. That would become 86.60. 86.60 Newton meter. Answer would be the 86.60. Next, The moment of inertia of a solid hemisphere about the axis passing through the hemisphere and parallel to its flat surfaces is 2 by 5 mr square. The distance of the axis from the center of mass of the hemisphere is what? Round up the answer to two decimal places. Quick, solve this question. Very short type of questions. So, coordinate system, the center of mass for the hemisphere would be what? x0, y0 and z equal to 3r by 8. This is for the hemisphere. X, y, the z. You have to find the moment of inertia in this direction. So Ix, this is given 2 by 5 mr square. So OC, you have to find the distance of the axis from the center of mass of the hemisphere. Basically the OC, this is the O, here this is the C point. C means 0, 0, 3 by 8 into 4. This is the center of mass. So C means here 3r by 8. You have all the keep in mind the center of mass of the sphere, hemisphere and hollow sphere, such as cases. Just put this value here. So 0.3 by 8 means 0.37r. Sorry, 0.375. 3 by 8. 0.375 into r, nearly equal to 0.38. So 0.3 would be the 38 would be the correct answer. 0.38. Next, question number 46. A collimated light beam of intensity I naught is incident normally on an air dielectric of refracting index 2.0. The intensity of the reflected light is in terms of I naught. Round up the two decimal places. Short questions, quickly solved and give me the answer. So here you have to find the intensity of the reflected light. Okay, so we know the formula, the r plus t equal to 1, reflection coefficient and the transverse coefficient. So r means the reflexivity, that the IR with the denominator of I of incident, that would be n1 minus n2. Very important formula in IIT JAM, n1 plus n2 whole square. Okay, so IR divided by I naught, that is equal to 1 minus 2, 1 plus 2 whole square. This would be what? IR equal to 1 by 9 I naught. So 1 by 9 means 0.11 I naught. So since n1 equal to 1 given AR and n2 2 dielectric, so 0.11 would be the answer. Next, a charge of minus 9 coulomb is placed at the center of the concentric spherical shell made of a linear dielectric material with permittivity 9 and have linear and outer radii of 0.1 meter and 0.2 meter respectively. The total charge induced on its inner surface is what coulomb? Round off the two decimal places. Quickly solve and give me the answer. So here that E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Epsilon means epsilon naught epsilon r, q by r square into r cap. Put this value 1 by 4 pi 9 epsilon naught minus 9. This is given q equal to minus 9 by r square into r cap. This would be what? That imply the electric field would be minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught r cap by r square. Okay. So polarization P, that the epsilon naught chi E into electric field. This is the formula of the polarization we just discussed in a chapter summary in a nursery class. So epsilon naught is to epsilon r minus 1 into the electric field E. That imply the polarization vector, that the epsilon naught, put this value 9 minus 1 into the minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught r cap, and this is the r square. Okay, that would be what? Minus 2 by pi r cap by r square. So you just put this value. Surface bound charge as r equal to, this is given, r equal to 0.1 meter at. So at r equal to 0.1 meter, you have to find the sigma b. Okay, the total charge induced, basically the surface charge, that the p dot n cap into minus 2 by pi r cap divided by r square, means 0.1 square, and this is the minus r cap. Okay, so this would become, after calculation, 200 divided by pi. That implies that you have to find the total. This is the surface charge density. You have to find the total charge. Total charge means the q of sigma b, that is equal to surface charge sigma b at the elementary area 4 pi r square. So this would become the 200 by pi into 4 pi r square. R square means 0.01, 0.1 whole square. So after calculate, this would become the 8. 8 would be the correct answers. 8 would be the correct answers. 8 coulomb. The total charge induced on its inner surface would be the 8 coulomb. Next, question number 48. A Zener diode and a normal diode are connected in a circuit shown in the figure. The voltage drop VL across the 2 kilo ohm resistance is what volt? Quickly solve. So open circuit voltage across the Zener, we just apply here the KVL law, that minus 20 plus I into R 0.5 plus I into R means 1 plus 0.7 plus I into R means here 2 R. This is the equal to 0. That imply 3.5 I, that would be 19.3. So I would be what? Or I would be 19.3 by 3.5 in milliampere. So V naught would be what? 20 volt minus 0.5 I. So put this value 20 volt minus 0.4 I means 19.3 by 3.5. Just calculate. You would be get 17.24 volt, and the Zener volt is given the 10 volt, that is greater than Vz, because Vz is 10 volt. Sorry, because Vz is 10 volt. So now, so Zener is on. This is the relation. The V naught is greater than the V zero because the Zener is in on state, and after you have to solve the calculation. Basically, this is the breakdown region. We already discussed in the chapter summary class. Breakdown region. So the VL would become what? The Vz minus 0.7 volt into R1 by R1 plus R2, 1 plus 2. So this will become the 9.3 and 2/3. This is the 6.2 volt. 6.2 volt would be the answer. 6.2. The answer would be the 6.2 volt. Next. So quick, next question. The Fermi energy of a system is 5.5 electron volt at 500 Kelvin. The energy of the level for which the probability of occupancy is 0.2. Round up to 2 decimal places. Very important question. Question number 49. Quickly solved. So here, this is the Fermi energy. So here we just apply the Fermi-Dirac distribution function. The Fe equal to 1 by 1 plus exponential E energy minus EF Fermi energy divided by kT, that is equal to given 0.2 volt. You have to find the energy from here. So simply calculate here. This is the Fermi function 0.2. Simply calculate by this equation. So you just get the exponential of E minus EF divided by kBT is equal to 4. So now, or the energy would be what? The Fermi energy plus 2 kT ln2. Just put this value. Fermi energy 5.5 electron volt plus 2 into K means 1 point kT. kT means we just write the 2 into 8.62 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 500 into 0.693. So you just get here, after solving all this value, 5.56 electron volt. 5.56 electron volt would be correct answer. So 5.56, 2 decimal places. Just put this formula and solve this question. Next one. 1 mole of an ideal monometric gas is heated in a closed container first from 273 Kelvin to 303 Kelvin and hence then 303 Kelvin to 370 Kelvin. The net change in the entropy in R, in function of R, is what? You have to calculate the change in entropy. Quickly solved and give me the answer. So here the change in entropy, simple. that dV equal to 0 because closed container, that dq equal to what? Du equal to n cv dt, n equal to 1. So ds equal to what? dq by t is equal to cv dt by t, that the del s should be cv dt by t should be cv ln t final by t initial. Okay, so total change in entropy del s should be del s system 1 del s system 2. So calculate here. I just put this value cv ln 303 divided by 273 plus cv ln 373 by 303. So this would become the cv ln cv ln 373 by 273. So total del s should be what? C by 2r, put this value ln 373 by 273. You just calculate and get the 0.468r, nearly equal to 0.47. 0.47 would be the correct answer. 0.47, just write here 0.47. So next question, 2 marks net question 51, question number 51. For a simple cubic crystal, the smallest interior planar spacing d that can be determined from its second order of diffraction using monochromatic X-ray of wavelength 1.32 Armstrong is what? Simple question. Solve yourself and give me the answer. Is in from the solid states. Marks 2 question. Using the Bragg's law, you just do in yourself. Bragg's law means the 2d sin theta equal to n lambda. So smallest d means d tends to 0. What? Sin theta tends to 1. Smallest d. So d equal to n lambda by 2. Smallest d. So 2 into 1.32 divided by 2. That would become 1.32 Armstrong. 1.32 would be correct answer. 1.32. Next. Very important question. A transistor is connected as shown in the schematic diagram. You have to find the collector current in milliampere. We will discuss in your chapter summary in a nutshell class. So here KVL apply in two loops, loop 1 and loop 2. Okay. So I just draw here the loop 1 in this section, that this one, and this is the Thevenin resistance. This is the RTH, means the 20 into 5 divided by 20 plus 5. That is the 4 kilo ohm. And next one, the Thevenin voltage, that this is the 5 kilo ohm and this is the Thevenin voltage. That would become the 15 volt given into 5 by 20 plus 5. This would become the 3 volt. This should be the ground. This should be the ground. This is the Thevenin resistance. This should be the ground. Okay. This is the SC and here this is the VCC. And this is the 5 kilo ohm. So KVL in loop 1, that minus 3 volt plus 4 into IB base current plus 0.7 volt plus 100 plus 1 into IB into 2, that is equal to 0. You got the IB value. What? 3 minus 0.7 divided by 4 plus 101 into 2. That would become the 0.0111 milliampere. Now you have to find the collector current. Collector current means the beta into IB. Formula: beta value 100 into 0.0111, that would become the 1.11 milliampere. Okay, 1.11 milliampere would be the correct. So 1.11. Every year this type of questions are coming in the IIT JAM question. Next, in the Taylor expansion of a function f(x) equal to e to the power x sin x, this is the exponential oscillatory around x equal to 0, the coefficient of x to the power 5 in the 3 decimal places. Very important question. This type of also question is coming every year in that section. Question number 552. So here question number 53. Solve yourself and give me the answer. Basically this is useful and easy questions. Just apply here the Taylor series, that fx equal to f0 plus f dash at 0 by 1 factorial plus f double dash second order derivative plus 2 factorial plus dot dot f 50 by 5 factorial into x to the power 5. I just missing one thing. This would be the x to the power 1. This would be the x square. So calculate, let us. So function is given fx e to the power x sin of x. Derivative first one, second one and third one, and put this value. So I just write the final expression. The coefficient of x to the power 5 would be what? Fifth derivative of this function at the point x equal to 0 divided by 5 factorial. Simple. So this would become the minus 4 by 5 factorial, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 minus 1 by 30. That would become minus 0.033. And one thing for net type of question, round up to 3 decimal places, minus sign is very important. And the answer would be minus 0.033 here. Minus 0.033. If you don't give the minus sign, you would be get the big 0. The answer would be the minus 0.033. Next, question number 54. A stationary nitrogen nucleus is bombarded with an alpha particle following the reaction. If the kinetic energy of helium and hydrogen are given 5.314 4.012 mega electron volt respectively, then the kinetic energy of the oxygen 8017 in mega electron volt is equal to what? Modern physics question. Question number 54. This is concept of class 12. Quickly solve this question and give me the answer in the comment box. I just wait for your answer. So here just find the Q value. Q value would be the kinetic energy. The reaction would be what? This one, the reaction. So Q value would be what? The mass of the helium plus mass of the nitrogen minus mass of the oxygen minus mass of the hydrogen. Okay, into mc square means basically del q equal to del mc square. C square means in mega electron volt 93.5 MeV. After calculation, you would get the this value minus 0. Calculate, put this value and calculate in your own, in your calculator, get calculator, because this is very essential for your NAT type of question. You have to use the get virtual calculator. So you have the put this value and calculate in the get virtual calculator. I just give you application in your group Schrödinger's cat in WhatsApp group. Just join for better update. 0.9315 mega electron volt. So Q equal to Q, kinetic energy of oxygen, kinetic energy of hydrogen minus kinetic energy of helium. So you have to find the kinetic energy of oxygen would be what? Q minus kinetic energy of hydrogen plus kinetic energy of helium. Put all this value and you will get the answer 0.3705 mega electron volt, and you have to the one decimal places. So answer would be the 0. Nearly equals to 0.4. Basically this is the 0.37, so 0.4 mega electron volt would be the correct answer. Answer would be the 0.4. Okay, next question. A satellite of mass 10 kg in a circular orbit around a planet is having a speed 200 meter per second. The total energy of the satellite in kilojoule is what? Quickly solve this and give me the answer. I just wait for your answer. Simple question. Put the kinetic energy formula. K equal to half mv square. Half mv square. Simple. So half m means 10, v square 20 whole square. So 200 kilojoule. And here one thing is that circular orbit energy equal to minus of kinetic energy. So minus 200 would be the answer. This is the very beauty of this easy question. And if you get the value 200, you will get a big zero. The answer would be the minus 200. This is the beauty of these sticky questions for circular orbit. And you just, this is for the central force problem. So equation of motion of the central force of a particle, and from here you just get the relation of energy should be the positive, total energy, one thing. And I think total energy must be the negative. Total energy must be the positive or the negative. And the kinetic energy, the square term, it should be the positive, and potential energy negative, positive somehow. And here the total energy is equal to minus of kinetic energy. So minus 200 kilojoule. Next question. When a system of multiple long narrow slit is illuminated with a laser of wavelength 600 nanometer, there are 40 minima between two consecutive principal maxima observed in the diffraction pattern. Then the maximum resolving power of the system is what? This type of questions are coming from the net section, optics from the optics. Try to solve and feedback me with the answer. You have to give you the hints here. The grating, end slit grating formula, n max would be what? E plus d by lambda. This is the relation. N equal to a plus b by lambda. So 4 into 10 to the power minus 6, put this value, divide by 16 nanometer. So 600 into 10 to the power minus 9. So this would become the 6.66. That imply n max would be the 6. So n minus 1, the 40 is given 40 minima. That imply n would be 41. So resolving power, therefore resolving power max would be what? N max into capital N. This would be what? 41 into 6. So this would become 246. So 246 would be our correct answer. 246. Next. Consider a thick biconvex lens whose magnitude of a radii of curvature R1 and R2 of the first and second surfaces are 30 and 20 semi respectively. Surface 2 is silver to act as a mirror. A point object is placed at point A on the axis OA 60 semi. As shown in the figure, if its image is formed at point Q, the distance d between the O and Q, O and the Q, this distance would be what in the semi? Optics class 12. But unfortunately it's coming in this IIT JAM exam. Please solve this question and give me the answer quickly. Because it is in the syllabus in optics, so it is coming. This is the class 12 physics optics mirror chapter, reflection, but it is in your syllabus in optics, so it's coming in IIT JAM. Conceptual question. Okay. So I don't solve here for wasting the time, because already we have approaches into the 3 hours of today's video solution lectures. So we skip this question for you. Homework. Solve these questions and mail or comment in this live chat box, because this is the HS class 12 optics. So I just give you as your homework. Next one. An unstable particle created at a point P moves with a constant speed 0.998 c until it decay at point Q. If the lifetime of the particle in its rest frame is 632 nanosecond, the distance between point P and Q is in what meter? Solve this quickly and give me the feedback. Simple. Use the time dilation formula, that tau equal to time dilation tau naught divided by gamma 1 minus v square by c square. Okay, put this value. Tau naught 632 nanosecond means 10 to the power minus 9 second. This unit is very careful. 1 minus 0.998 whole square. This would become 10 to the power minus 5 second. So now you have to find the PQ. peak would be distance means the s equal to what? Vt means the v tau is equal to 0.998 into speed of light 3 into 10 to the power 8 into 10 to the power minus 5. So it would become the distance 2994 meter. 2994 would be our correct answers. 2994. Next questions. Just a minute. So here two positive charges q and 2q are kept at point A and B separated by distance 2e as shown in the figure. MCl is an semicircle of radius 2d centered at the origin O. If q equal to 2 coulomb and d equal to 10 semi, so value of the line integral integration m to L, this is m to L EDL, where we represent the electric field along the path MCL will be what? Quickly solve and feedback with the answers. Question number 59. Simple. Just put the formula that the line integral m to L EDL E dot dl equal to what? The minus v at point L minus v at point M, because you have to find this L point of potential and the M point. This is the Vm and this is the VL, and here we consider the reference frame, means this is the origin x and the y, this is the positive and here this is the negative. Okay, just put this value, it would become the V at the point M, V at the point L would be what? 0. So VL would be what? Q by R L plus 2Q divided by BL, that would be the Vm potential at point B, because L is equal to BL is equal to AM is equal to BM is equal to what? 1 by root over d square plus 2d square for 2d whole square, 1 by root over 5d square, 1 by d root 5. Okay. Equilateral surface. So equipotential surfaces basically. So 0 would be the answer. 0 volt. The value of the line integral E dot dl along the path MCL, 0 would be the answer. Next question. A time dependent magnetic field inside a long solenoid of radius 0.05 meter is given by Bt equal to B naught sin omega t z. If omega equal to 100 rad per second, B naught equal to 0.98 Weber per meter square, then the amplitude of the induced electric field at the distance of 0.07 meter from the axis of the solenoid is what volt per meter? Round up to decimal places. I just discussed the 59 questions with solution, and the last question, question number 60, is just do in yourself and feedback me with the comment box with the answers. What would be the induced electric field at the distance in volt per meter? You just put on the answer in the numerical number by commenting, everyone. I just wait for you. This is the last question of today's IIT JAM 2024 by IIT Madras previous year question. This is the last, and you all the solved in yourself and comment by putting the numeric answer. I just wait for you. So here one is given, the answer is correct, and one thing is that the answer value should be the range 1.71 to 1.71, and he give me the answers the 1.73. Thank you very much for solving and give the answers quickly. I wish you for your best of luck in your IIT JAM 2025 in the tomorrow. Stay healthy and give the exam. So here this is the cylinder. This is the point P with the axis from the distance the R. This is the Z cap, and this point be the 0.05 meter. Here we just apply at R equal to 0.07 meter the line integral of the cylinder E dot dl equal to what? Minus surface integral del b del t of dA. Maxwell equation E dot dl equal to minus del b del t dA. So dA equal to what? dA equal to R for the cylindrical coordinate system, r d phi z cap, and here the magnetic field and a function of t would be what? This is given the b naught sin omega t z cap. This is in the inside and 0 for the outside. Okay, so put this value. So E naught into twice pi r is equal to minus b naught omega cos omega t into pi 0.05 whole square, that is equal to, or E vector mod equal to minus b naught by omega divided by twice r into 25 into 10 to the power minus 4. This is the cos omega t. Just calculate, and the amplitude A would be what? The b naught omega into 25 into 10 to the power minus 24 divided by the 2r. Just put all these value and feedback me again the correct answers. So after calculation it would become the 1.75. So 1.75 would be the correct answers. 1.75. Okay. So last but not the least, thank you. And one thing is that I just confess one thing, that tomorrow is the IIT JAM 2025. Best wishes to all those who are going to give the IIT JAM exam tomorrow. This is my way of speaking that in a cool, calm and slow manner, and we will finally fight with the problems in your exam hall, and we will finally fight with the problems, and everyone will go the exam center carefully, revising all the topic and the chapters formula only on today night. So thank you, best of luck. Thank you very much for joining today's live class. Have a good day and may God bless you. Best wishes. Thank you. Bye bye.